Well, hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Chaz coming to you live. I've been on Booktube for 4 years, and I'm so excited to celebrate with you today. Uh, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you've been around a while, you kind of know what I do, uh, talking about books and uh, book related content and everything like that. So, we're here to talk about just a bunch of different stuff. This is an open Q&A. So well. Hello, Fina. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I'm excited. It's been a good time. Um, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I've been meaning to message you and let you know I will be reading Alchemy of Masks and Mirrors next month. So I haven't forgotten about my patron pick for the month. So, um, yeah. So, yeah, fun times. Do I look 4 years old? I don't think I look 4 years old, but everybody, everybody might think differently. So, hey, Jenny, good to see you. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Um, yeah. So today is going to be an open Q&A. You can literally ask me anything. Uh, nothing is off the table. We might watch my very first video together. That might be interesting. And yeah, so we'll talk about some channel updates, and we'll talk about my writing a little bit. We'll talk about updates for that, and yeah, cool. Um, if that's a Q&A, what's your favorite videos you made for the channel? Oh, wow. Boy, that is a tough one. Oh boy. Hmm. I think my favorite videos that I've made for the channel are the ones that I've done with my daughter. She joined me for a few, like the blindfold book cover challenge and the first line challenge, and I won the first line challenge, if I remember right, but I lost the blindfold book cover challenge. So she made a follow up video with me where I had to share some poetry that I was forced to write as my punishment. So it was so much fun, and I think those are my favorites. Uh, oh yeah, I'm excited to read it. I've heard a ton of good things, especially from you. So yeah, I'm excited. Oh, most embarrassing video. I don't know if I don't know if I have one. I mean, my videos are fairly well edited, but I mean I think I made some like embarrassing flubs on naming books and pronouncing authors' names and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't think of a most embarrassing one off the top of my head. That's a good question. Hey Ben, good to see you, buddy. Um, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you found me now, though. So, or recently, anyway. So, yeah. And I'm so glad to be following you as well. Thanks for all you do. Uh, yeah. I wish I could. I might think of some later on down the road. And who knows if we end up watching my very first video, I might there might be some embarrassing moments in that one. Uh, Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you. Hi, Anitha. Good to see you as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, Shad, how are you, man? Good to see you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anitha says, "What's the best book or series you found because of BookTube?" Oh, wow, that's a good question. I think. Oh, there's so many. I think I think I would have to say the Dreamer and Muse duology, Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. Um, I found those via BookTube, and it's one of my favorite stories. Um, trying to think, I don't. I think that's probably my best answer right now. I'm really glad I found those. As readers, we all mispronounce things. The downside to only ever reading certain words. Yes, yes, that's very true. What made you start your channel? Ah, good question. I started my channel so I could have more people to talk about books with and share my thoughts on books because I do have lots of friends, but most of my friends are not big readers. And so, my local friends anyway. So, yeah, it's really expanded my bookish friends circle. So that's why. Yeah, good question. Thank you, Epic. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. 5 favorite booktubers. Oh boy, gosh, can I have 50? I follow so many people. I used to watch Daniel Green a ton on the regular, and I don't do that much anymore. But when I first started out, he was kind of one of my favorites. Um, but oh man, I love so many people's channels. It's really hard for me to say. Dan from Treebird's book reviews, Baron from Your Brain on Books, um, Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. Fina's channel is one. Fina Reads. Bad as Red 2. Adam W. Rodriguez. He kind of does a bunch of different stuff. Nicole's Bookish Nook. Um, Reading with Rebecca Nicole. She's on here today. She's one of my favorites. I've got too many favorites. Epic, of course. Like Epic, if you check out his channel, I mean it's well named Epic Tales because he does some amazing videos. So there's just really too many to name. Good question though. I wish I could narrow it down to 5, but it's just so hard. Um, do you remember how you discovered BookTube? Uh, You know, that's a good question. I think I was doing a search for book reviews on the internet, and somebody's video popped up, and so I discovered, oh, so there's book reviews on YouTube. So I went there, and that just kind of started the spiral into all the bookish content on YouTube. So yeah, I think that's how it happened. Um, Jenny, I love chatting with people all over the world and seeing different viewpoints on topics and books. BookTube is great for finding stuff you may not find normally. Oh, yes, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Hey, no pressure, Fina. I mean, the content that you've already got up is great. You know, life happens, and I'm sure you'll get back to it eventually. And even if you don't, I still love your channel. So, it's all good. Worst and favorite booktube recommendations. Oh, wow. That could get controversial. Um, so I've talked about I'll start with my worst and then we can end on the best, right? I've talked about how much what a different experience I had with Rage of Dragons compared to all the hype for it. And Epic, I know you're gonna shoot me because I know you love Rage of Dragons, and I totally appreciate it. But I just didn't. It didn't work for me. But I think the one that's worse than that for me is Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe. I wasted so many hours reading that because at the end I was just like, I hate this book. I really do. I did not like it. So those are my worst. Favorite booktube recommendations. Oh man, I could talk all day. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I mentioned one earlier, Strange the Dreamer. Um, the oh, Shades of Magic series by V. Schwab. Uh, uh, Chad Nicholas is a self-published author. I found his books via YouTube, and they're awesome. So yeah, tons of really good books that I found via YouTube. Empire of the Vampire I'm reading right now, and I'm really loving it. And I probably wouldn't have known about that if I hadn't found Booktube. So um, yeah, those are some of them. Thank you, Nikki. Appreciate you. Yes. Let's see. What's your favorite content to make? Hmm. I I have a lot of fun with book tags, but I think my favorite content to make is book reviews. Uh, I haven't made any recently because I haven't finished any books to review, but I really like book reviews. And unfortunately, they don't get a lot of traction until much later in the game. I still find book reviews that I did 2 years ago, and they just keep getting more traction over time, but not when they're first released. But I really like making book reviews, and I've tweaked my book review format over the years, and I think I've found a good place to be with those. But yeah, I love making those. Oh, and to watch. Again, I do like book reviews to watch. Uh, I like to watch book tags a lot. I pretty much like all bookish content. Um, videos where it's, if you like this, try this. I like videos like that. So yeah, nice. Be brave, Chaz. We want the tea. The we want the tea. Am I reading that right? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, like, are we talking? I don't know. Uh, like referring to the Boston Tea Party type thing, like dumping the tea over. I'm not sure, but uh, but maybe we're talking about like the um, unpopular opinions. So yeah, let me know on that though. Um, do you like editing videos? I do most of the time. If I make a video that's really super long-winded and I have a lot of cuts that I have to edit out, um, there's a few videos where I spent like 2 or 3 hours one day working on editing the video. That can get a little taxing, but in general, I do like it. That's a good question, Nikki. Thanks. Hello, Leah. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. I followed Daniel Green as my first booktober, and I found a favorite through First Law through him. I did not jive with Poppy War, Lightbringer, or Book of the Ancestor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. That's great. I think I found First Law through him as well. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's another one. I really liked First Law. I didn't care for the ending as much. The ending was weird for me, but the whole story in general, I love it. So yeah, I think I found that through him too. How much time do you spend recording and editing in a week? Oh, good question. Recording recording is probably the shortest amount of it. I probably spend an hour or an hour and a half recording, for the two videos I put out a week. For editing, I'd say on average I probably spend about 5 to 6 hours total editing. Um, and I edit on my phone, so I have a specialized app on my phone that I can edit with. It's great. LumaFusion, I think I mentioned it before. It's awesome. It's easily akin to the major desktop editing programs out there, but it's specifically for mobile, and it's so easy to edit on my phone, which sounds weird to say because it's such a small device. But yeah, yeah, that's about it though. Sometimes I do a little bit more than 6 hours in a week, but that's in general kind of what I do. Do you ever record videos and then decide not to publish them? Uh, I've had that happen once or twice, maybe, but it's where I got to the end of the video and I was like, got to the end of filming, and I'm like, Chaz, that was trash, and I just deleted it and picked something else to do. So it's happened. I appreciate both you and your content, Charles. Thank you so much, Josh. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you too, my friend. Another fun channel to check out. He talks about books and board games. I love it. Oh, and Josh, I couldn't comment on the video because comments were turned off, but that video you just did with your son, I thought was absolutely amazing. Let him know that he did an awesome job. That was just so fun. Um, let's see. It's fun using some booktubers to discover others. I'm pretty sure I found your channel through the traveling booktuber. Traveling book box. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. I had so much fun with that. That was a fun video to do. Um, so yeah, traveling book box. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Tea is in hot takes and gossip. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I get it. Yeah, that I yeah, I should have assumed that. Traveling book box videos truly are a great way to discover new channels. Oh yeah, yeah, they really are. I discovered a few through that book box that I participated in. So, T is some new slang. Yeah, yeah, it seems like it. I like to pretend I'm not getting too old. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I've never heard of tea getting. Yeah, that's new to me too. Yeah, I mean, when I think of tea, I don't drink coffee. If I drink anything, I drink tea, and I love tea. So thinking of tea in the negative aspect, I'm like, so maybe we'll change it to give us all the coffee. I'm kidding. I like coffee too. It just over time it just was not good for me to be drinking coffee. So do you have any channels outside of bookish content that you watch a lot? Yeah, I do. I like a lot of uh, life lesson type videos. There's a guy I follow named Nathaniel Drew. He has a couple of channels actually, and he talks about thoughts about life and pursuing your passions and traveling. I love stuff like that. I watch a lot of tiny home videos. I'm big into the tiny house fandom. In fact, at some point, that's my goal is to have my own tiny house. I'm a minimalist. I like small. I like minimal upkeep. I'm all about tiny houses, so I'm always watching that kind of stuff on YouTube. Living Big in a Tiny House is one of my favorites. He's based out of, well, I think he's based out of Australia. I think he himself is from New Zealand, but I think he's based out of Australia. Anyway, it's a great channel. Yeah, I love it. So those are some of my guilty pleasures, and I'm not so guilty about it. Personally, I'm obsessed with van. Oh yeah, van life. Yes, I watch those too. Maybe I'll be brave enough to try that way of life myself. Good on you, Jenny. I would, because I think that would be really cool to have my home travel with me. If I did it though, I think it would only be like uh, a specified time frame, like maybe 2 or 3 years that I would do that. But I really hesitate because of the whole composting toilet thing. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems gross to me. But I mean, there weren't always flushing toilets, you know. Uh, Hundreds of years ago, they didn't have them, so I'm sure something like that was a thing. But Yeah, van life does interest me a lot. I never paid anything for any video so far. It is so easy to record and edit videos nowadays. Would not have been possible a few years ago. Yeah, I totally agree. Um, for the longest time, I just I filmed with my phone, and it's only been within the last year that I broke down and upgraded to a camera. Um, I decided to treat myself with a portion of my tax return and my and the money, some of the money from my, what's wrong with my hat here, weird Chaz moment. um, I used some of the money from my patrons as well to put toward the camera, and got a box light and a couple of other things. But that's only been within the last year. For the first 3 years, I exclusively did everything on my phone. So yeah, but it's great. You hardly have to pay anything to be a full-time content creator. Uh, Need to make some sun tea. Oh, I love sun tea. Yes, Fina. That's good stuff right there. Oh my goodness, yes. Um, Thank you for your kind words. They will put a smile on Wyatt's face when I pass them along. Good. I hope so. He deserves it. He did a great job. Real quick, I do have cheesecake here. So I better eat it before it's no longer edible. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so let's see here. Invent your own slang. Let's spill all the coffee. Yeah, there we go. I like it. I still find it odd that over the pond you mostly drink cold tea. Yeah, I it that is weird. A lot of people mostly drink cold tea. I love hot tea, and like Earl Grey's, uh, you know, regular green tea. I love matcha tea, and I like my matcha hot. I like traditional preparation of matcha, but that's really hard to find unless you do it yourself, which I have done on occasion. But I love matcha. But I do drink the cold teas as well. So, but yeah, I prefer hot tea. Honestly, that's my thing. So I'm with you, Jenny. I just should have been born in the UK because I like a lot of or just in that side of the globe in general, because I have weird stuff that isn't native to living in the US. Like, I sleep on the floor on a Japanese futon. So in that respect, I should have been born in Japan. I don't know. I'm eclectic. Um, no need for composting toilets if you get an RV. That is true, Fina. That's a good point. And I have thought about the RV. That's a good point. Yeah, that's very true. Van life. You could be a traveling booktuber. Yes. Take over my used bookstore treks. Ooh, that's cool. And technically, if I traveled a little bit more, I could still do the used bookstore trek without being a van lifer. But yeah, you make a good point. That's true. Yes, yeah. That actually, at least in this, like I've seen some videos where people do that, and they have to be real discreet because uh, at least in the U.S., people will get fined for that. Like if they're caught, like the police will, you know, hunt them down and yeah, cite them for that. So, but I mean, it makes perfect sense. That's what our ancestors did for sure. What's next for your Patreon? Oh, yeah. So I don't know. That's a good question, Fina. Are you talking about something I'm going to spend my money from Patreon on, or new perks that I'm going to add? Um, um, I haven't thought about new purchases from the money that I made. um, in a couple of weeks. I was thinking about it a couple of weeks ago, but as far as new perks, I kind of don't know what a lot of people like in terms of perks. If you guys have perks that you want to see on my Patreon that would make it more enticing. And by the way, I don't expect anybody to be my patron, but if you were thinking about being a patron and you're not seeing the perks that you like, let me know. I would love to know what's popular and what you would like to see. So ooh, cheesecake. What? So it is uh, a dark chocolate. Uh, it's a marble cheesecake with dark chocolate and fudge. Speaking of, here we go. Mm, good stuff. That is true, and that's one reason it's so popular, at least where I'm at in Phoenix, because it gets extremely hot here. So yeah, the everybody goes for the cold drinks. Our average in Phoenix is like between 110 and 115 in the summer, Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's popular to drink cold stuff. Uh, I drink either hot or cold. Yep, yep, absolutely. I like them both. Hey, Bad as Rad is here. Hi, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Just so you guys are aware, if you have not seen um, the announcement on YouTube already, I do have a live stream coming up tomorrow. My next Chaz and Friends episode is my first group episode with Bad as Rad, Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook, and Adam W. Rodriguez from the Art of Ours. So yeah, we're getting together tomorrow. It's going to be super fun. Happy anniversary! Thank you, Liam. Appreciate you. Uh, Tea ceremonies in Japan, they really are. I like my first ever encounter with matcha, and you're gonna think this is totally funny, was the Japanese tea ceremony in the Karate Kid 2. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and that tea looks amazing. I have to find out what that is, and that got me into this whole rabbit trail of finding out about the Japanese tea ceremony and matcha preparation. And I'm like, oh yeah, I loved it. So yeah, it's a really beautiful experience from what I've seen. I've never been part of one, but Japan is number two on my bucket list of places to go. So maybe one of these days. Um, Americans usually drink cold tea. I didn't know that, and I'm an American. Yeah, yeah. I think it depends on the season too. Like hot tea is really popular in the winter, and in the summer, the cold teas are more preferable with a lot of people. Not to me. I'll drink hot tea any time of the year, but I enjoy cold tea as well. And so yeah, it's good to see you celebrate. Oh well, thank you. Yes, celebrations are well deserved, right? And with that, I'll celebrate with another bite. Mm. If you ever need a tip on RVs, let me know. We just put solar on ours so we can boondock. Hey, nice. That's great. Yeah, if I did an RV, I would totally do solar. RV outside of our. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Boondocking is becoming really popular, and I think that's great. And there's even apps that will show you the best sites to boondock at. So it's cool. Are you becoming a bookish nomad? Yeah. It sounds like Fina might be becoming a bookish nomad. Now, Fina, if you become a bookish nomad, you have to come see me in Phoenix. That has to be a thing. Um, well, I'm learning so much about America today. Yeah. Uh, I actually no. I mean, even on public lands, because they're because they're patrol. Like it's considered, from what I understand, and I might be wrong about this, but from what I understand, it's considered a form of indecent exposure. So if you get caught doing it, yeah, you can get a ticket, as little as a ticket, and maybe more. So that's my understanding, and I got that from watching certain travel tubers and stuff like that. So specifically for van life and such. So yeah, I guess it's a thing. That would be so much fun. Yeah, yeah, that would be. Yummy cheesecake. Indeed. I love cheesecake is my favorite dessert. I often say if you feed me cheesecake, I'll gladly be your slave. So if anybody needs a slave or a servant, I better clarify that. Talking about an embarrassing moment. I'm not condoning slavery, okay? Um, servant. I'll gladly be your servant if you feed me cheesecake. Um, think of all the places you could show whilst taking books. Yeah, whilst talking books. Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. Yeah, I could do videos at all the bookstores I'm visiting and stuff like that. It'd be awesome. Yeah, it will be an awesome live stream. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I had to make sure to drop by and congratulate you. 4 years is amazing. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Of course, let's go book hopping together. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, book shopping together. Yeah, absolutely. Arizona's high on your list. Good. Yeah, and we've got some great bookstores here. We've got the standards like Barnes and Noble, Half Price Books, but we've also got some great independent bookstores here too. So yeah, definitely come hang out. That would be awesome. My best friend is easily bought with cheesecake. Mine is either Jaffa cakes or carrot cake. Okay, all right, cool. I used to really love carrot cake as a kid, and then for some reason, as an adult, I mean, I don't hate it, but I just don't like it nearly as much as I used to as a kid. So, you know, palate changed, I guess. So yeah, cool. Well, it looks like and feel free to keep the questions coming if you want to. Um, I I do want to just kind of give a couple of updates. Some of you are probably wondering what's happening with my new book. Um, if you weren't aware, I do have one book already, Talendor's Guest, that is up and available on Amazon and other places. So that's been out for a while, but I do have my new book coming out, The Nomad's Crucible, and I was planning to have that out no later than November of this year, but I've run into some hitches. My beta readers all got back to me for the most part and finished with everything, and so I have to go in and make some edits and make some changes to get it all ready to go. So that's there. But what I'm waiting on right now is my cover designer. So I do have an artist who is doing my cover. It's taking them longer than I had hoped it would. And if I want to have a November release date, I really should start getting out arcs no later than um, I'm guessing maybe September. So, because I don't have a cover finished, and I did already award one of my uh, beta readers, who also has a channel, the cover reveal for it. So I'm kind of holding off on making anything happen until I get the cover design done and in my hands and any final tweaks that need to be made to it. So it's looking like I'm probably going to end up pushing the release of my book out until the beginning of 2024. 2024. So So that's an update on my book. If anybody was curious about what's happening with that, as far as my other writing goes, I've still been in a real writing slump. I have some cool ideas, but I don't know when it's going to come to fruition. So, um, two ideas I'm actively working on uh, in my mental space, anyway. In the physical space, not so much yet. But yeah, so that's that. Um, Jenny says, I want to visit the US one day. Main things I want to experience is Walmart and the 24-hour diner. Oh, wow. Nice. You want to visit Walmart. Could I suggest Target instead? Or Target, as we like to call it? Uh, no, I shouldn't say that. Walmart is really good for a lot of people. And, they're, yeah, there's a reason they've gotten so big and have a large footprint in the U.S. So I get it, but it's not one of my favorite places. 24-hour diner. I don't know if I've ever been to a 24-hour diner. I think there probably are some, but yeah, I don't know about them. Oh, actually, no. Well, so Denny's used to be 24 hours, and maybe they still have some that are, but that's kind of gone away, especially with COVID. COVID kind of restricted a lot of that. So happy Booktube anniversary! Thank you so much, Theo. I really appreciate you. That's awesome. Um, all the horror stories about Walmart make it sound fascinating. Yes, yes. I don't know if it's still a thing, but there used to be a website called Only at Walmart or something like that, where you could see all the unusual occurrences at Walmart. And I used to work for a bank that was inside of a Walmart. So, you might think some of those things are made up. That they're not, I promise you. They're they're not made up. Or at least not all of them anyway. Um, happy Booktubersity. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. This is so much fun. Yeah. So yeah, we've talked about updates on my books. I still am thinking about possibly in the future maybe doing a hardback edition of Talendor's Guest. I'm still planning to do the audiobook for it at some point. Those may be some things that I've been thinking about doing Kickstarter just to see what that's like. So, but that's not going to be for a while. But if that's something all of you are interested in, let me know. Um, we might just do that. So yeah, I think that's that on the books. If you guys have any other questions about my books, feel free to rattle them off. I will answer what I can. As far as channel updates, I'm currently, not that I pay a huge amount of attention to this, but I'm currently setting at 45 out of 60 books read for my Goodreads goal. So I'm 9 books ahead of schedule, and we've still got almost a full half of the year left. So I'm probably going to exceed that. Um, the channel is almost at 1,000 subs. I think I've got like 60 subs left to go. And if you guys have ideas for what you want me to do for a celebration when I hit 1,000 subs, it probably will be a live stream. I'll probably do a giveaway, like a gift card giveaway or something like that. But if you guys have any other ideas, let me know about that. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of it for channel stuff. If you have more questions about my channel, feel free to rattle those off as well. Totally interested in the Kickstarter version. I'm obsessed with Kickstarter books. Yes, I am too, Fina. I'm trying to restrict myself because I love Legends and Lattes. It's one of my favorite books, and I saw the Kickstarter edition for the new edition of it, and I'm like, oh, I really want it. but I don't need it. I'm kind of on that cusp where I'm like, Chaz, do you really need that book? No, especially when I saw that the special edition of Bookshops and Bone Dust is going to be done through somebody else entirely. So you're not going to get uniform editions. So I'm like, I'll just wait. I'm fine. I don't need that special edition. But then others I buy into, like I'm probably going to buy into the Good Omens graphic novel that is on Kickstarter right now because I love everything Good Omens. I mean, as you can see, I have my pop vinyls of Crowley and Aziraphale. I have a table. I have a coffee table book back there about. You can probably see it right there for the show. Like I'm enamored with Good Omens, and especially after seeing season two, um, I'm just I can't wait to get all the Good Omens content. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna do that. But yeah, Kickstarter is going to be a problem for me potentially. Are you sticking with standalone or are you morphing into a series? Good question. I'm open to doing a series, but I feel like I do better with standalones. Um, I feel like for me to do a 2 or 3 book series um, might be a little bit much. I'm not extremely verbose. Like the Nomad's Crucible is coming in at right around 95,000 words, so that's probably going to be like 300 to 400 pages maybe once I get it formatted and everything. But so yeah, so for me to write a lot of stuff, I think I could do it, and that might happen. All of my books are going to be loosely connected, so that's a thing. There are kind of recurring characters in a multiverse type setting, but for right now, I plan for all the books to be standalones. That could change, though. Good question. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's see here. Yeah, yeah, I'm so excited, Fina. It's a lot of people hit 1,000 subs like right in that first year or shortly thereafter, and I'm fine. It took me a while, and it's a slow burn sometimes. I'm totally okay with that, but I'm excited to finally hit it. Hello, Chadia. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you. Hey, nothing wrong with being late. It's a-okay. I'm not going anywhere for a little bit. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Kickstarter makes me sad because I want the fancy editions, but I don't read physical books. Yeah, I get it. That's another reason why I'm very selective. Like, I read mostly ebooks. So for me to buy a physical edition, I'm on Kickstarter, I might read it, but the reality is it's probably just going to sit on my shelf as an ornament, which is fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that my preference is ebook, so I get it. Have you seen all of season 2 yet? Yes, it is. I still like season 1 the best, but it's really close. It's really close. I very much enjoyed season 2. And we're going to be getting a season 3 if Amazon is willing to pick it up. Neil announced that the other day that they're going to be writing it. He kind of has all the piecework done for it before the writer's strike happened. So it's just a matter of once the writer's strike is over, getting back to the table and finishing out season 3. And he said if it doesn't get picked up by Amazon, he'll write a book for it. So I mean, either way, we're getting Good Omens 3, right? Stupid work getting in my way, but I made it. Hey, JR, good to see you, bud. I'm so glad you came. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Hey, brother, at work, but I wanted to stop by and say congrats for 4 years and so close to 1,000 subs. Hey, thanks, John. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you're awesome, and I'm glad you stopped by. I hope work is going well. I do a lot of audiobooks, but then if I really like it, I buy a physical copy, normally autographed. Okay, yeah, yeah, and autographed could be a thing too. I need to get a bulk. Excuse me, cheesecake. Uh, I need to get a bulk order of my physical books so that I can like sign them and send them to people if they want them. So yeah, that's probably something I need to look into. Um, and then maybe if somebody wants to buy a physical copy directly from me, it would be like I don't know, Venmo or something like that. But wonder if we could convince him to turn season two into a book two, get all the stuff that was left out, like season one. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, the biker gang was cool in the book, right? And like, uh, watching season one, I was like, I love it, but they left out our wannabe, um, uh, our wannabe horsemen. They left out the biker gang. I'm like, come on, no. So yeah. If you guys aren't familiar, there's the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and then there's the wannabe. Well, I don't know if I don't remember if it's four horsemen, but the wannabe horsemen in the tale. So yeah, I was bummed that they had to leave it out, but I can see why they did. It's not essential to the story. So, but yeah. So feel free to keep the questions coming. If you guys are interested, I think I think we're gonna go ahead and watch my very first video. But what do you guys think? Is that something you're interested in? Let me know. Whoops. There we go. Hang on a second. I gotta figure out my haha, bring it on. Okay, Jenny, thank you. Let's see, we'll do picture in picture. There we go. All right. So if you can see it here, so this is my page and I have it set to my oldest, and this is it right here. Ocean at the End of the Lane, my very first book review. So let's go ahead and go to that. My very first video, actually. And
as a child
uh,
for a few.
1 second there. Okay, can you guys see that? Can everybody see it? And we'll see if we can hear it as well once I start playing it. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Okay, cool. We can see it. Now let's see if we can hear it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Glad you stopped by. I want to do my first book review for you today. And I'm so excited about this book that I picked for my first review. It may seem a little self-serving, and I guess it kind of is, but this is one of my all-time favorite books, and I just had to get it out of the way first. So this book is by one of my absolute favorite authors, Neil Gaiman.
Everybody
And
hear it?
you'll find throughout the course of watching videos on my channel that I talk a lot about Neil Gaiman. I'm a huge fan. If there's a bigger fan out there, they'd have to prove it to me. I just love everything of Neil's that I've read. And there really isn't a book that I would say I have not liked. Some more than others, but I've always liked his books. But this book, oh, this book is right at the top of my list. And that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane. This book is so amazing, such a great story, and it's really short. It's super short. You can easily read it in a 24-hour period. I did. Maybe I'm kind of crazy, but I did. I just couldn't put it down. It was that good. So this book follows an older man. I'm guessing maybe in his mid 40s. It doesn't really say because it's taken from the first person. So you're following along with this man as he's telling the story. He goes home to his hometown that he grew up in as a child for a funeral. And as he arrives at the town, it's like a vault has opened because all of his memories of growing up in this town as a child start flooding back to him. And he's specifically drawn to this old farmhouse at the end of a road where he had known a girl growing up. And this girl had always said that the pond out in back of the house was an ocean. And he starts having all of these memories flood back to him about the adventures they had and the very weird happenings that went on as a result of his association with this girl. It has a very ghostly and ethereal feel to it. The writing is very personal. And you get that from some of Neil Gaiman's books, but this one is especially personal. You almost get the feeling that maybe this is even Neil putting himself in this man's shoes and telling his story. But it's very poignantly written. He really tugs at your heartstrings on many occasions. There's a very subtle darkness to the story that permeates the room even. I mean, when you're reading this book, at least with me this happened, I felt like I was there. I felt like these things were happening around me. And that's the beauty and brilliance of Neil's writing. He has a way of doing that, but I haven't really encountered as much as I did in this book. Do yourself a favor, if you are a Neil Gaiman fan at all, pick up this book if you have not already read it. If you have never read Neil Gaiman, this is a great introduction to his books, and you owe it to yourself to at least read one of his books. I mean, come on. He's really well known. He has an amazingly iconic voice too. So if you're into audiobooks, I purchased the audiobook. Well, okay, I can't say I purchased it. I got it for free as part of my Audible trial, but I knew I was going to get that for my Audible trial, so I'd have the companion audiobook. So yeah, you caught me. I didn't buy it, but buy it. If you like audiobooks, it's an amazing audiobook. And what's even better, because it's Neil Gaiman reading his own audiobook, there's just nothing like it. I mean, especially if you have the hard copy, you can sit there and read along with Neil, and it's like Neil Gaiman is reading you a bedtime story. You know, if you've ever wanted Neil Gaiman to read you a bedtime story, get his audiobooks. There's just nothing better. So I highly recommend this book. I can't say more good about it. And get to know Neil Gaiman too. He's quite the character, very unique. And that's what makes him so brilliant, because there's just no one that really writes like him in the industry. If you're a fan, if you've read this book, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were. You know, feel free to disagree with me, there's always going to be people that don't like a book. It happens. Some books aren't for everybody. You have to write to a specific audience, and not everybody's going to be that audience. So, if you disagree with my review, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd love to read your thoughts and get some input. I'm always open to other people's thoughts on things. If you haven't read the book, or if you want more information on Neil Gaiman, I'd be more than happy to post some links down below so that you can get an idea of what he's like. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I will probably do an author deep dive later on down the road for Neil, because he just warrants that type of deep dive. All right, so Ocean at the End of the Lane, pick it up. Don't hesitate. As soon as you're done with this video, hit up Amazon or go to your local bookstore, which is even better, and grab yourself a copy. I'm waiting here until you do it. I'm just kidding, of course, but you owe it to yourself. Grab a copy. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day.
Okay, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I haven't rewatched that video. I haven't watched that video since I put it out, and I thought it would be more cringy than it was. Although it was weird seeing myself do that. So, um, oh hey, yeah, and nothing to be ashamed about. A lot of people haven't read it yet, and that's cool. So now you can. Okay, all right, got it, Rebecca. Well, yeah, it's a great book, so I hope you do. Fantastic book. Yeah, it really is. Uh, how's it watching yourself back? Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. I looked a lot different. I had less facial hair. Like you probably couldn't tell, but it was. I still had the facial hair. It was just shaved down like really short. Um, and I wasn't shaving my head at that point. So, and of course, no hat. So hatless Chaz. But um, yeah, it was fun. That was in my old place that I used to live at. The lighting wasn't great, but yeah, it was different watching myself back. Still very much Chaz. You're more comfortable on camera now, but your personality still came through. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, I think I am more comfortable on camera now for sure. Um, but yeah, there's still a few of my little quirks that I have now that showed through even then. So my library has an English copy. I just checked. Oh, cool, awesome. Well, Chadi, I hope you enjoy it. That'll be fun. You'll have to let me know what you end up thinking about it. Yeah, that'll be great. All right. So what else is going on, guys? What are you got big plans for the weekend? For some of you, the weekend has already been a thing. If you're overseas, I think it's probably depending on where you're at, it might even be Saturday night there. I'm not sure, but yeah. So what you got going on? Are there any other questions that you guys have for me? As I said, nothing is off the table. This is your rare chance to get Chaz to answer anything. Let's see here. Does the blue dragon behind you have a name? Yes, yes. This is Tamarath. Tamarath, and my daughter got this for me specifically to be my channel mascot. So, and it's perfect. So, yeah. So this is Tamarath. Um, and of course you've met my other channel mascot on occasion, my cat Ari. She's not in the room with me right now, but uh yeah, I didn't want her to like be getting into the cheesecake or anything like that. So, but she shows up from time to time. I love that Neil Gaiman can make you believe in magic and fantasy as much as you did when you were a kid. Yeah, yeah, Jenny, I totally agree. That's a great way to put it. He does give you that childlike love of all things magic and fantasy. That's awesome. Yeah, good point. Yeah, yeah. It's a cute mascot. We love cats and dragons. Yes, we do. We do indeed. Yeah, yeah. The best real animal and the best make believe animal. Well, maybe make believe. I mean, it has roots in you know uh, real stuff anyway. I guess so. Yeah. Puppers all the way. I love pups too. Yeah, I love dogs too. But I like other people's dogs. I don't think I have the patience to take care of a dog myself. I could be wrong, but I would not want to do that to a dog where I got the dog and then realized it just wasn't something I could handle and then having to find another home for it. I would hate to do that. That would be awful to do that to a dog. So if I did that, I would either just buck up and learn and deal with owning a dog, or I just wouldn't get one altogether. But I love dogs. There's a beautiful chocolate lab in the apartment downstairs from me named Sherlock. He is just such a wonderful dog. Like he's always coming up to me and saying hi, and it's great. So, um, aren't all cats kind of? Yeah, kind of. Yes, that's true. I mean, most pictures of dragons that you see, they're kind of curled up like a cat. A lot of them have the vertical slanted eyes like cats and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, it's yeah, yeah. Cats are dragons secretly. My weekend plans are spending time in the great outdoors, probably kayaking and sneaking in some marine time. Oh, that's great. That's very cool. I had never been kayaking. I've been curious to try it though. Where are you at again, Rebecca? What part of the country? I think you're in the US, but I couldn't remember where. Um, Besides me, because we all know I'm your favorite. Who do you watch the most of on Booktube and why? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of answered this earlier in the stream, but there's so many. Like my YouTube watch later list is so long, and I usually get to the end of it by the end of the week. So I'm I'm good about managing my time between reading and watching YouTube, catching up on my friends, stuff like that. So um as far as lately, oh, there's just so many. Like I watch all of your videos, um, and I still have one I need to watch. I think it was this morning's video talking about marketing and Sarah J. Mass. Um, yeah, I watch reading with Rebecca Nicole a lot. I watch Book Buds a lot. I watch almost all of their videos. If you guys haven't checked out Book Buds, they're great. Um, Occasionally I watch Patrick Leo, not all of his videos, but I think I'd probably watch most of them. Um, yeah, so I've got so many. I think I probably uh, I follow a ton of YouTubers, but specifically BookTube. I think I follow probably 70 channels or more. I mean, yeah, because and I don't always get to all of their videos, but yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question. Exactly, Fina. Good. Yeah. Lots of agreements. I'm the same. I would want to go on walks every day. Give me cats, but yes, yeah. I do like to walk, but I wouldn't. I don't think I would enjoy walking at the pace that a dog would want me to walk. I mean, my knees aren't the greatest, and so yeah, it would probably be good exercise for me. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go on walks every single day either, especially in the Phoenix heat. There's just no way. What are some of your favorite bands or subgenres? Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, metal I love. Um, my favorite types of music are jazz, classical, and well, rock in general, but especially metal. So yeah, my Metallica is one of my favorite bands. I've listened to almost, well, no, I think I've listened to all of their albums, including the new one that came out this year, or was it last year? Anyway, yeah. So I love Metallica. I was a huge fan of Guns N' Roses back in the day. Um, ACDC is I like some of their stuff, and some of their stuff I don't care for. Um, but I like symphonic metal a lot. So as far as the subgenre, symphonic metal is great. So like Evanescence. Um, there's a band. I think it's a German band, or maybe it's Scandinavian. I can't remember. But Epica. They have a lot of great original music as well as covers of movie themes and other pieces like classical pieces and stuff like that. So Epica is great. So yeah, symphonic metal is one of my favorite subgenres. Um, Punk, um, Flogging Molly, Dropkick Murphys, stuff like that. I love punk rock, specifically Celtic punk rock. So um, I do like punk in general, but um, I'm not a huge fan outside of Celtic punk. So there's that post punk, or some things, some genres have changed over the years. Like I think um, I th- so I grew up with oh Depeche Mode, and when I was in high school, they were called they were known as New Wave, and now I think they might be under the banner of like post punk as a category. I'm not totally sure on a lot of that, but I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Oh, as far as jazz goes, like I'm a huge fan of Louis Armstrong, um, Harry Connick Jr., uh, Dizzy Gillespie. A lot of classic jazz is what I'm into, and a lot of the classic crooners like Tony Bennett. I was so bummed when I saw that he had died. I really liked Tony Bennett. I really enjoyed Mel Torme. Um, uh, Frank Sinatra in his younger years, I liked. Not so much as he got older, but I really like his older stuff. Um, and classical, there is so much classical that I love. Rachmaninoff, Beethoven, of course, Mozart, Franz von Zuppe. Um, yeah, so I hope that gives you some stuff to go on. Has anyone asked what I'm currently reading? Actually, no, that's a good point. I briefly mentioned that I was reading Empire of the Vampire earlier in the stream. So, yeah, I'm about halfway through Empire of the Vampire. A friend of mine gave me the Illumicrate edition because she ended up not caring for the book, so she thought I might like it, and so she gave me the Illumicrate, and it's beautiful, guys. There's so many nice illustrations in here, and the story is really good. I'm absolutely loving it. And then I'm also reading Mad Ship by Robin Hobb, and then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And if I'm able to finish those, I may tackle Piranesi this month or Piranesi, or however you pronounce it. So that's on my back burner if I finish the other books. It's been a busy month though, so I don't know if I'll get past 3 books. We'll see. Uh, yeah, good question. The extent of my weekend is gym tomorrow morning, then reading the rest of the day. I dare anyone to interrupt me. Nice, nice, Jenny. Yeah, yeah. No, we'll try and be nice and not interrupt your reading. My YouTube watch later list is longer than you know that's a reality. It is. I try to keep up on it, but inevitably, I usually have at least 20 videos backlogged or more, depending on what's going on. So, yep, I get it, and that's including videos outside of BookTube. So, I'm in the Northwest near. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah, that's a great place to be able to do all the outdoor activities like kayaking and stuff like that. That's awesome. I wish my TBR was as short as my. Yeah, yeah, I know you've got a long TBR, Jenny. You really do. Hey, good to see you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I should move to the U.S. and become everyone's dog walker. Oh, there you go. You would probably make a lot of money doing that, honestly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Dog sitting and dog walking is a thing. So yeah, that's a definite option. Oh, thank you, Tori. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. TikTok has some amazing artists. That's how I discovered Peyton Parrish, who does oh, haven't heard of Peyton Parrish. Thank you. Viking and metal versions of Disney. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'm going to look that up. I yes, if that's what they do, I'm all about that. That's great. Oh, and another band that I didn't mention before is a Norse band named Vardruna. If they they did, I know they did most of the soundtrack for season 2 of it's Vikings, right? Yeah, the Vikings TV show. They did most of the music for season 2. I don't know if they did for other seasons, but yeah, Vordruna is another one that. So I love Viking music, and so I would definitely check that out. Yeah, it's a beautiful addition. It really is, and I'm kind of on the fence because I don't know. I don't subscribe to Illumicrate. I have friends who do, and I've thought about if they end up doing an Illumicrate edition for the second book in the series when it comes out this year. Um, I might see if I can, you know, shoot my friends some money to get the second one for me, because otherwise it's kind of like, oh, I need the Illumicrate edition if I can't get the others, right? So it's kind of special edition people problems, right? Uh, yeah, it's a great book so far. It's very unique for vampires. It's just so good. Yay for Hob! Yes, and I did like the First Year trilogy. It was fine. The last book wasn't great for me, but I still enjoyed it overall. But Live Ship Traders, I am glued to my seat. I mean, this is my series of Robin Hobb so far. It's so good. Yeah, Mad Ship is awesome. So I mean, I knew it would be. I'm literally invested in every one of these characters, and uh, even Kyle Haven, because I love to hate him so much. I'm just waiting to see what other thing he does to piss me off. But but yeah, this series is so good. I still haven't tried Jay Kristoff. He may lean a little too edgelord for me. Yeah, I've heard that. So this this book feels very reminiscent of Interview with a Vampire, which I haven't read the book. I've only seen the movie, but it definitely feels like more classic Victorian like type era vampires. It's not super edgy, at least it isn't to me. But I've heard that um, the the Nevernight is that's what it's called, right? The Nevernight trilogy. I've heard that that is, but this is the only Jay Kristoff I've read so far, and I think it's phenomenal. Yeah. At least Piranesi is short. Yes, I agree. That's one thing that I said to myself. I'm like, okay, if I need a short book to end the month, it's going to be Piranesi. So, yes, yes. Thank you, Chadia. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Sorry, I'm late, Chaz. I will catch the earlier part when I can. Congrats on 4 years. Hey, thanks, Christopher. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's I really appreciate all the love and it's been a fun 4 years, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. You guys aren't getting rid of me unless unless something happens that I just can't plan on. So, but I'm taking good care of myself, so I don't think I'm going to be dying anytime soon. So you'll probably be stuck with me a while. Yeah, Chris is great. One day I'll read all the books if I could just stop buying more. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's always new books to buy, and that's what makes the TBR even longer. Uh, Christopher's another one I watch, by the way, guys. If you were wondering, booktubers that I watch, he's another one. I pretty much watch everything. I need to head out, but I'm glad I could join the stream for a little bit. Congrats again. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Rebecca. Good to see you. Vordruna. Oh yes, more love for Vordruna. They're amazing. Such an amazing band. But one of my favorite music videos of all time is "Flight of the White Raven." I think it's called. I think it's "Flight of the White Raven." But anyway, it's oh that video is just so good. Oh yes, Nightwish. I love Nightwish. They are so great, and it's cool because I'm a huge fan of the King Killer Chronicles, and they are as well. And so a lot of their songs have been based in uh, elements of the King Killer Chronicle story. And so yeah, so they're great. And then there's another band that's an offshoot from Nightwish called Ari, Auri, named after the character from the King Killer Chronicles, and they're good too. I listened to their first album. I haven't looked to see if they have a new album out, but I like them as well. So yeah, 4 years. Thank you so much, Kay. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's been a good 4 years. If you like North sounding music, how have you tried Hello? Yes, I have. I have listened to some of their stuff as well, and I really like them. Scald is amazing too. I've been listening to Vardruna writing my novel this year. Oh yeah, it's good writing music, Tori. Yeah, it's good stuff. I've heard of Scald. I have not listened to them. So yeah. Oh, more Scald Bub. Okay, all right. Good to know. Good to know. Book buying is a hobby completely separate from reading. Yeah, yeah, it is. I would agree with that. Yeah, some people just buy books to collect them and they never read them. So yeah, absolutely. Skull or Bruno Within Temptation, TYR Nightwish and Leaves Eyes. I have not heard of Leaves Eyes. What is TYR? I don't recognize that one, but yeah. And I don't recognize Leaves Eyes either. The others I'm definitely familiar with. So interesting, cool. Thanks, Christopher. Uh, Helvegen by Orduna has been my go-to song lately. Also love Inari. Yes, yeah, okay. I've heard of Inari. I've never listened to their stuff. Helvegen is And I'm probably mispronouncing that. Sorry, I'm not good on Norse pronunciations, but yeah, that's a great song. Is book buying still a hobby if you only read on Kindle? Ah, huh. I would say probably yes, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. TYR is a great band. Hold the Heathen Hammer High. Okay, nice. Well, I'll have to check them out. Oh, you know what? I probably thought it was an abbreviation. It's probably the like is it tier? Is that how it's pronounced? For some reason, I thought that was an abbreviation for something. So okay, that makes more sense. Okay, Jenny, there's your answer. Kay said yes, so that makes it true, right? Thanks, Kay. Appreciate you. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries, man. I haven't heard of Tier, but I'll definitely look him up, um, and check him out. Yeah, because I love me some Norse music, and I don't even care if I can't understand what they're saying. I just love the music. I'll watch it with subtitles. I don't mind. Oh, how many is too many? Currently at 2003. Whoa! Yeah! There's never too many books, in my opinion. The only thing is, like you know, one day we're probably never going to finish our TBR, right? Because one day we're only getting older and we're probably going to die. So if that happens, at least from my understanding, uh, if something happens to you, you can't gift your Kindle library to a family member. They don't have they don't have it set up where that can be part of your estate. All of those books just go away. That's my understanding. But so that's the only drawback to the having that many ebooks. But hey, uh, you know, never too many, never too many books. Trying to get the accent mark. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm bad with accent marks. I'm learning Irish on Duolingo right now, and I am terrible with the accent marks. I am so terrible with remembering where they go. It's bad. Um, always happy to always happy to enab. I mean, oh, to enable. Okay, got it. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Kay is always right. Yes, yes, she is. Kay is always right. My fiance would disagree. Well, that's what fiancés are for, right? I mean, you have to disagree about something. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. So, well, cool, guys. So we're approaching an hour and a half. Um, we've still got a few minutes left, but I was going to try and keep it to an hour and a half. But if you guys have other questions or other things you want to talk to me about, I'm totally here. I don't have to go anywhere after an hour and a half. I kind of like to keep it in that time frame out of respect for other people's schedules. But if you guys have more stuff you want to talk about, let's do it. I like support of my problems. Case here for you. Case here for you. That's great. Time flies when you have fun. It does. It does indeed. Yeah. Yeah. It flies way too fast. Like just in general, like my son is leaving on Wednesday to go back for his sophomore year of college. I'm like, I remember when he was just a baby in my arms and now he's a sophomore in college. I'm like, oh boy. And my daughter turned 18 in May. I'm like, where did the time go? I'm just, oh my goodness. Um, so yeah, time flies when you're having fun. It does. And I will say that I would never take those years back as my kids were growing up because I had so much fun with my kids. So yes, time flies when you're having fun. Um, all right. Well, if there's no other questions, oh, let's see. Okay. Are you going to try vlogs someday? I find them fascinating to watch. I am, yes. In fact, I had thought about doing one for Empire of the Vampire, but then I've already gotten halfway through and I didn't do anything with it. So um, I did do one vlog a long time ago, and uh, it didn't turn out too well. The music was kind of off on it, and uh, I didn't really know how to approach it. So it's on my channel somewhere, but I do plan to do another vlog at some point. Yes, um, and I've got some other interesting ideas for videos. Like I have thought about doing um, comparing books with beers. So if you like stout beers, this book would be a good book for you. If you like IPAs. I'm not really a big fan of IPAs, but if you like IPAs, then this book's for you. So I thought about doing something like that. I've got lots of other ideas, but yeah, vlogs are. I love watching vlogs. Um, I've just been hesitant to do another one, so I will though. Yeah, I promise I will try my hand at it again. I keep procrastinating writing my script for my July wrap up video. So happy to jump on these live chats. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you joined in with us. Yeah, when you write a script for your videos, and do you use do you have like a teleprompter like software on your phone or something that kind of like that you read from or whatever, or you just kind of like put together a script on your phone and look down at it, or how do you do that? I'd be curious. I don't I use a basic outline on my videos, so I don't do a full script. Um, it allows me a little bit more freedom, but I'd love to know your process, Christopher. Uh, do a Piranesi. Oh, you know what? That is a very good idea. A Piranesi vlog. Okay, yeah, I will think about doing that. Thank you, Jenny. What are all your favorite blog channels? I love those too. Oh, yeah. So blog channels like day in the life videos or like actual written blogs. Um yeah, I'm assuming you mean channels that just are always a bunch of day in the life vlogs. For me, I um, I really enjoy. Um, I just happened on her channel recently. And I can't remember it, but there's one booktuber I follow that does a lot of vlogs. Um, Danielle over at Bookara, she does some vlogs. I really enjoy hers. Um, the, oh, okay, yeah, booktube channels that do reading vlogs. Okay, got it. I don't find a lot of booktubers that do vlogs actually. So I've watched a few, but I don't see many people doing them. I know Murphy Napier does a few. Um, I haven't happened on a lot of channels that actually do the vlogs. So yeah, good question. Okay, you just do bullet notes. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of how I do as well. Yeah, and I just have it in the notes on my phone. So yeah. Um, Go all high tech and get a teleprompter. Yeah, it's actually a thing. There's like apps for your phone that you can get for teleprompting, but of course, you can't film the video with your phone if you've got the teleprompter app open, right? So that's really only for people who have an actual camera, but I don't know. I can't bring myself to do the teleprompter. Um, I like to freestyle it a lot. So yeah. Video. Okay. Yeah. 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 So yeah, I don't follow a lot, or I don't see a lot of vlogs that pop up anyway. Booktube channels that do reading blogs and such. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we covered that. A lot of smaller channels do vlogs. That's true. That's true. In fact, the channels that I have seen vlogs on, it's usually smaller ones. Um, there's one larger booktuber that I follow, just Shauna. She does like a, a 30-second vlog from the month or something like that every month. Um, so there's different ways of doing it, but yeah, yeah, it's mostly common on the smaller channels. You're right. Um, but yeah, I would consider doing more. I haven't seen many that vlog regularly, but a few I watch are Leon's Library and Emily Fox. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I think I've seen some of Emily's videos. I did know about Leon's Library, although I don't watch it regularly, and I haven't seen any of her vlogs. But yeah, yeah, good suggestions there. Thanks. Okay. Uh, hey, hi Alyssa. Good to see you. I freestyle almost all my videos. I tried scripts and it made me feel unauthentic in my presentation. Yeah, I that's how it feels to me as well. It's not like that for everyone. They're able to be really authentic with it, but for me, it just yeah, uh, having a script. You know, I do have kind of the bullet points that I want to hit, but it's just like a bare bones outline. But some books I don't even do that with. Like some books that I'm just really able to get passionate about and fire right off the cuff, like I did with Legends and Lattes. Uh, yeah, so it really depends on the book. But yeah, I never do a full script. So yeah, hey, I'm glad you made it. She's another one. Check out Into the Heart Wild if you guys haven't. Um, and yeah, another channel to watch. Um, I watch Emily's too. Okay, cool. I've got to head out, but we'll catch up on the rest later. Congrats again. Thank you so much, Kay. I appreciate you. How cute are her cats? Fina, Claudia. Oh, that's a cool name too, Claudia. Has my heart and soul, and I'm strong dog lover. Okay, yeah, yeah. Claudia is a cute name for a cat. I like that, especially with that spelling. If that's how she spells this, that's perfect. Um, yeah, cool. Well, it seems like some people are having to leave, which is totally cool. It's getting about that time. I've got a couple more minutes if you guys want to fire off questions or comments, but I think we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and giving me your best wishes and asking me questions and watching my first video with me. And I appreciate you guys so much. I can't tell you how much your support of my channel means to me. It really does. And if if there's anyone watching this on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for tuning in, and you'll get more Chazzy content in the future. So look for it. Thanks for the little shout out. So I was so late. Oh, hey, no worries about being late. You're totally fine. Thank you, Fina. Great hanging out with you too. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it, Chadia. I hope so too. That's the plan. I don't plan on going anywhere. And we'll do it again tomorrow on the chess. Yes, yes, yes. I will be there with the Buttercup crew, and you can tune in and have fun. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate you. Hi, Adarsh. How are you? Glad you joined on the stream. I recently completed a Dance with Dragons. Now waiting for Winds for Winter. A Song by Some Fire is my favorite. Oh yeah, A Song by Some Fire is my favorite book series of all time currently. So I'm right there with you, sir. Dance with Dragons is a great book. I personally think that we are going to get Winds of Winter. It's just going to be a while. It's probably going to be it'll probably be another year at least. I hope not more than that, but I do have faith that he's going to get us book six. So yeah, I'm really glad you read the series, and yeah, it's my favorite book series. The only distraction from my reading that I will tolerate. Oh well, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, yeah. I know you dared us to interrupt you earlier, so I'm glad you're going to allow me to interrupt you with that stream. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, and until next time, make sure you are reading more books. And I'll see you guys tomorrow if you join tomorrow's stream. And take care. Have an awesome weekend. Bye bye.